Hi and welcome to Property Marketing Mondays. Property Marketing Mondays, we look at all things to do with real estate and property marketing. So we specialise in the visual assets side, but no topics out of bounds. So whatever you want us to cover, get in touch, send me a message and we will look to add it. So this week, as we got the first week here, we don't have any questions. So I'm going to cover some topics that I think will be of interest. So first of all, introduce who am I? So I'm Paul Darvell. I'm the founder of Landlord Photography. We are a UK-based property photography specialist company. We've got 5 offices spread out around the UK, and we are continuing to grow. We do photography, we do 360 virtual tours, we do video, we do HMO dressing services. All that we do though is purely for the property real estate industry. We don't take photos of babies, we don't take photos of christenings or weddings or anything like that. It's purely property. And well, the thing that stands landlord photography apart from other property photographers is that we're all property investors. Everybody who runs a landlord photography office is a property investor first. So we understand it from our client's perspective. We're all landlords, so we know what you're going through as a landlord. And that's why we call the company Landlord Photography. So this week, the first thing I want to cover is looking at Photoshop. So Photoshop have just announced a new version. It's called version 22 or Photoshop 2021. And the thing that's really interesting for property photographers is this new function here. So if we go into edit and go sky replacement. So I don't know how you've done your sky replacements before. Maybe you didn't bother replacing the sky. So here we've got a very grey day. Maybe you didn't bother replacing previously. But now it makes it super easy. Other options you could do, you could have done this quite manually in Photoshop. And one of the things I used to do quite a lot is just outsource it, get somebody to do it for me. But this great new tool in Photoshop is absolutely brilliant. And I just want to spend a bit of time today going through it. So it's, as I said, it's up in edit. It's under sky replacement down there. It's grayed out because we've got it open. And then we can then choose a sky. And these aren't my skies. I haven't loaded these in. These come with the system. So let's try a different one. Let's try that one there. Okay, so that's now just applying that. So it looks a bit moody, actually. Probably not what we're looking for marketing shots. Most people want white fluffy clouds on a blue background. So I would normally use this one. So let's put that one in there. So that looks pretty good. But let's also try this one here. Just wait for that to load up. Is it doing it? Okay, it looks like that's applied. See if I can actually notice the difference between the two. There we go. So there's that one. And then there's this one here. And that's applying. See, I quite like that one actually. Or there's also this one here. Okay, or another option up here. So I quite like that one. And I quite like this one down here. So let's leave it with that one for now. So let's just move this out of the way so you can actually see that. I quite like that. I think that looks really nice. Nice blue sky with a little bit of mood in it, but it hasn't really got the fluffy white clouds. So if you want the fluffy white clouds, maybe choose that one there. But you can see how easy this is now. This would take quite a while previously, whereas now it's really, really quick. The other thing I want to show you here is if we look along the edge, because this is one of the issues previously, is getting those edges nice and clean. Well, actually it is nice and clean, but what you can do is shift the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it to the very end boundaries to the extreme so you can really see what happens. So if I do that, you can see here how the cloud has gone over the top of the house, so it looks a bit silly really. And then if we shift it all the way back, say all the other way, let's go there. Now there's a little bit of blue sky there, but it's here, it's quite grey. And then if we shift it, say there, it's lightened up a bit. It's got a bit of blue. So it's merging it in. Personally, most of the time, you can leave that at 0 and it looks quite nice. So that is the new sky replacement function. And it creates a new layer. So in the layers down here, let me just move me. It would just create a new layer down here when we click OK. So if we click OK, there we go. It's stuck in the additional layers for the sky. And then what we do is we just flatten the image as we normally would when we finished editing it. So I'm just going to move me back down out the way there. So that is Photoshop sky replacement. So why is good property photography really important? Well, as a lot of landlords are noticing, it can be quite tricky, especially at the moment in some markets, to fill properties. So what I want to do is I want to just show you the difference that you get. So here we're on Spare Room. It's a portal for co-living, house shares, HMOs, call it what you like. Houses in multiple occupation. It's where a house is rented out by the room. And I'm just going to choose a town at random. I chose my local town, Reading, recently on a video I did. So I'm going to choose another town here. I'm going to choose Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield is a very different market to where I live. The prices are very different. It's a lot cheaper. But let's see what we see in some of these rooms here. Now, I haven't done this exercise already, so I don't know what this is going to show. So these are how many search results we got. So there's 95 search results come up. Page 1 is there's 10. We can see there. So somebody's gone to the effort of getting themselves to the top of the list here. But look at that picture. Is that really the best picture to sell this room? Well, let's have a look at it. Let's see, because this thumbnail photo should really grab the attention, and we like to use super bright, super colourful photos there. So the prospective tenant just really has no choice. They always click on your photo unconsciously, by accident. And that's what we want to achieve. So that first one there of the bathroom, not particularly a great choice. This one here, it's not really popping off the page. It's quite a nice photo. It looks a bit dark there, but at least it's a nicely dressed room. So let's open that up there. Quite a nice photo here of the kitchen. Again, personally, I'd normally leave with a bedroom because that's where people are going to live and spend most of their times. See this one here, this photo isn't particularly doing a lot for me. Let's have a look at this one. They've dressed the room here. They have there, but this stands out a bit more. So the yellow throw, classic for room dressing, and it really jumps. Now, they could have brightened that up a bit so that photo really pops off the page. This here doesn't look particularly clear, really. This photo, not sure why they've chosen that one as their thumbnail, but let's open some of these up. Again, with that one, I'm not quite sure. It's interesting here they've chosen to put the outside of the building. So is there a particular reason for that? Maybe there is. I don't know this property. I don't know this area. But people generally say that you rent for the inside, you buy for the outside. So for renting, I'd normally stick to an inside room personally. So let's take a look at some of these adverts. So it's not even a particularly great photo. It looks blurred to me. Got the door handle in it and a lot of the door. Let's see what other photos they got here. Okay, one of the outside is here. Now this is a live-in landlord, so this may well not be a professional landlord. It might just be somebody looking for a lodger. So you can maybe understand that a little bit more. Very dark photo here, really not selling the property. Again, that photo's not particularly great, not really selling that property. So bear those images in mind as we go through some of the others. So luxury double room, okay, in a free, well, I imagine that's meant to be bed, so a typo, not particularly great. But let's look at some of these photos. So they haven't made the bed. That looks like a mattress protector on there. And I think they really could have done a bit more here, if I'm honest. And because they haven't really got all the bedding and they're just showing the door. This to me suggests that they're not using a wide angled lens, and the actual composition of the shot isn't necessarily great. Here you can actually see the reflection of the camera, and can I make out the photographer in there? Maybe I can't on that one, but you can see definitely the flash. And the way you get around that is simply by just doing it at a slight angle, and bouncing that light off the ceiling. There's various things that you can try. So they've gone to the effort of putting the towels on the toilet here, but it's kind of lost, and I didn't really see it at first because you've got too much white here. So maybe if they'd put coloured, maybe some yellow towels on there, that might have stood out a bit more. But you can see everything. You can see the toilet, the sink, the shower. So from that perspective, it's quite good. So here, again, they haven't made the bed. They've blown out the window. And when I say blown out the window, what I mean is you can't see through it because there's just too much light. It's overexposed. That's what we mean by blown out. On this desk here, I might have put a laptop or a book or something. And again, I'm not quite convinced of that angle, whether that's the best angle. But obviously, I don't know what's behind in the shots. I don't know what other angles you could have done. Okay, one in the kitchen, quite nice. But you've got quite a bit here being blocked by that there and by, it looks like a wall there. All quite dark though. All this photo's quite dark, and it doesn't look particularly sharp, so it looks a little bit blurred there. But main thing, and the thing that I find with most photos on spare room, is they're normally a bit dark. Now we go for super bright, super colourful photos, which you could even argue are overexposed actually, but we do that because we want them to jump off the page when they're being used as thumbnails. Again, here, blown out this window. That radiator, is it there to hide the wires behind the TV? Maybe, I don't know. Okay, fine. So that's that property there. So let's have a look at another one. So price-wise, this is one of the more expensive ones. That here, that property looks, that room looks tiny, doesn't it? That looks nice. It's very simply dressed, but actually it looks nice. And it's got symmetry here with the pillows and the lights. It's quite nice, but again, it's dark. Too much shadow there. Very dark photo, and it's got a bit of an angle. It looks like the property's leaning. That it's got subsidence, so they haven't straightened that image up very well. Yeah, again here, that room doesn't look particularly square, and it's dark. Not sure I would have left the bottom of the beds like that, but that's fine. Bit dark. Nice to see that you've got a settee in the room and it's linked here with the beds, but it's just all a bit dark. Okay, I'm glad I clicked through. So here we can see the photographer in the actual shot. There's absolutely no need for that. You can just step to the side. It just shouldn't happen. Okay, and the other one is in what I've seen in mirrors in bathrooms, and if you just drop down below the height of the mirror, you're going to be absolutely fine and you won't be in the shot. Okay, more stock shots. Okay, so let's move on. So let's have a quick look at this one. So they've gone to the effort of dressing this, and it looks quite a nice kitchen, but the photo, the whites here don't look very white. And so that says to me the white balance is off, and it's because of the different light. So you see you've got that type of light there and you've got those lights there. So that's why if they'd have tried to correct that, that would have gone to almost like a bluey colour. So they haven't balanced that light very well. Okay, not a bad shot. I might put a bit more colour in it, but not bad. Again, the white of the walls isn't really coming out. Okay, now they've changed. So you can see here, it was a landscape shot, and here they've gone to portrait. You can see why they've done it for a corridor, but it just doesn't look particularly great. So that to me says that it's either a very small room or they're not using a wide angle lens because they've cut most of the bed out, and I'm not entirely sure what that shot's meant to be showing, to be honest. Okay, quite nice shots. Not sure where the focus point is here, and you can see nothing's particularly square, so that photo obviously hasn't been transformed. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to probably start boring people. But as we can see there, there's a real range of photos. So here where they've started to try and do it well, and then, you know, here where it's just photos just really aren't selling the property. If anything, it's probably putting people off. It's very rare that I say you'd be better off advertising a property without photos, but this might be getting close to it, this one. So as you can see there, the photos really do make a difference. And if you've got one with really nice photos, you're going to stand out. So in this market here, so if we look, so there is 95 properties being advertised. Let's see how many rooms wanted there are in Huddersfield. Okay, 58. So what that says to me is it's a saturated market. There is far more supply than there is demand. Okay, because we're in spare room, there's 58 people looking for properties, and there is, you can see here, let's have a look, there's 95 properties available. And don't forget, that's properties, not rooms. So in each one of those 95 adverts, there might be multiple rooms available. So that's a super competitive market, but people are not selling their product well. Their marketing, to be honest, is pretty rubbish. They're not taking the opportunity to jump off the page and really sell themselves to their prospective clients. So they're missing a trick here. So if somebody went into this market with great photos that were jumping off the page, they're really going to stand out from the competition. So this is actually a really good opportunity for someone in this market. And that might even, you know, because if you just looked at those figures, the ratio of rooms wanted to rooms available, you might steer clear of this market. But actually, if you create a nice product and you market it well, you might even be able to make some good money, even in this what looks like a saturated market. Right, so that's it. I just want to talk about topics for my next week. So feel free to send me any topics that you want me to cover, any questions you want me to answer, and I will cover those next week. And subscribe. Okay, so subscribe to this channel and you will then get, you know, the notifications, etc., of the next videos and what we're doing and the other stuff that we got going on. And the other thing I say is go to our website. So our website is landlordphotography.co.uk, and you can sign up here. So if you sign up there, you will see that you can get a free guide on how to prepare a property for photos and virtual tours. But we'll also then send you our newsletter and things like that. Now, obviously, you can unsubscribe whenever you like. So you just get the free guide and then unsubscribe. It's entirely up to you. It's not a problem. That's it for this week. I hope you found that interesting, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you very much.